Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Cullen Moss about The Staircase on HBO Max. Welcome back to the show, man. It's so good to see you.
So good to see you again. Thank you for having me back.
You're like a regular now, right? I think it's your third time. We did an Instagram Live. I feel like you're a regular.
So. Yeah.
I'm just like, first off the bat, I mean, this miniseries just took the world by storm. People knew about The Staircase, were really interested with this new series and everything. What's it like kind of working on a show like this where the appetite and appeal for true crime and murder mystery and everything is so big right now, Cullen?
It was amazing. It was a great opportunity. And honest, it may be sort of dim of me, but it kind of didn't occur to me. That phenomenon didn't occur to me while I was doing it.
Yeah.
It was just telling a real story, but of course all that was going on, and I don't know why I didn't think about it. So, any thoughts on that would have, kind of occurred after the fact, in the wake of it all. But it's amazing. It was a cool climate, a good timing for a show like that, certainly. But I think it stands out in its tone and the art of it. I don't think it's a run of the mill true crime story. I think Antonio and Maggie and everybody wrote on that was just kind of set it apart, as well as the cast. But it was great.
Does your mindset change a little bit working on something that wraps up like a mini series compared to something that can like continue on season after season, or is it all storytelling for you?
It's all storytelling. Yeah. There's something kind of cool. I mean, to know where something ends, though. I mean, it's like, so with these limited series, it's like a 10-hour movie, or 8-hour movie, whatever. So you're just having a longer time to tell the story, but it's finite. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. I like that aspect. It's like doing a play.
Yeah.
Almost,
It's interesting because, it's been out for a good amount now, and people will have a chance to kind of watch it all. But like, it's one of those things too, where, this was highly anticipated. Like, people were talking about this when they saw the trailer and everything. When did it start officially like hitting you that people were going to kind of see what you were working on, basically? Like, was it like the week before it came out? Like, when does it start hitting Cullen Moss that like, wow, like people are actually going to see what I've been doing?
Well, while we were shooting it, I think so. I mean, just people, you just get the feeling when you're involved in something, and it's not, it's interesting because I realized while we were doing it that people were certainly going to see this.
Yeah.
And there's always the question of like, am I going to stand out among these giants? Like, I mean, really, I mean, you get Colin Firth and Toni Collette and Parker Posey and Stuhlbarg, everybody. So, I mean, everybody in that cast was just gold.
Yeah.
And I knew I'm not like being, pardon me, I'm not being falsely, like showing false humility here. I think I'm good at what I do. And I got.
I agree. You are good at what you do.
When I do it right, anyway. And I got good feedback on the set, but it came during the filming of it. I mean, just when you're looking around and just seeing how wonderful everybody is around you, and how much attention to detail is being paid, from top to bottom. I mean, production design, art department. I mean, everything, and just brilliant people all surrounding you. You're like, okay, well, this isn't gonna suck.
You do well working in the crime sphere or landscape.
Apparently I do.
That's like a trend, with a lot of things that you've been working on.
And there are worse things than to get.
I don't think you planned for that. I think it just kind of happens.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It does just happen, and I'd welcome the opportunity to step outside that realm. But in the meantime, if that's the work that I get, and then I'm getting work, and that's good.
You welcome the opportunity, but it's not going to happen. You're too good in that stuff. You're too good as being like the sheriff.
You're wrong.
Or the cop.
You're wrong, Petey. I'm going to write my own material, and shit's going to happen.
And then you're going to be like, actually, you're right. I was a cop in this.
You're right. I'm a cop. But here's the deal. No, I've got it. As long as it's funny. I'm in New Orleans. I'm shooting Your Honor right now. And I play a cop. I'm a detective, but it's interesting. Like what excites me about it. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I'm plain clothes. Great. So I don't have to wear, the tan polyester and a badge.
You were a lawyer in something recently, I believe. Or a cop.
The
no,
staircase.
You were a cop. No, yeah, well, staircase, exactly. But you play a cop in a lot of things. Like there's no
I've done lawyers, I've done cops, I've done yep, mostly that. But
there was Blackbird, you were like a detective, right? Or a lawyer or whatever the hell that was.
I was a detective in that. Yeah.
No, but the staircase for this one specifically, I mean, compared to everything we just kind of talked about, I mean, this was a big role, in terms of what this character was kind of involved with.
Oh yeah.
I think that's up there compared to other kind of storylines with other shows we've kind of seen. So what was that preparation mindset wise like, specifically what you were kind of dealt card wise for the staircase, Cullen?
I watched the documentary, of course, when I got the chance to read for, even before I auditioned, I binged the documentary. I watched a lot of interviews with Jim and a lot of the court TV stuff. I watched a lot of the testimony, especially where Jim and Freda were questioning the witnesses. That was it. I read articles about the case, and finally, and most importantly, Parker and I had a 2-hour, almost a 2-hour conversation with Jim on a Zoom call that was really enlightening, and just gave the full spectrum of what he was about. I mean, a fuller spectrum, as much as you can get in 2 hours, and it was great. That conversation was invaluable, I think, for me and for Parker. And we talked to a really great woman, Candy, and I can't remember her last name, who worked in the DA's office, who had insight about him as well.
No, there's a lot. No, absolutely. It's a lot. It's a lot when, it's a big one, right? Like the story that what happened and everything. So the preparation is going to be massive. It's going to happen.
Yeah. And he was somebody specifically at Parker, and I think had thought the same way. She thought the same way about Freda, that they were so known through the doc. For anybody who was familiar with the case, those two personalities are so very particular. We wanted to hone in as closely as possible to that reality, and do them justice and honor, and as realistic a portrayal as possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cullen, thank you so much for coming back on Popternative. It was so great catching up with you, man.
Petey, great catching up with you, brother.
Staircase on HBO Max. They can check that out. You're on Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. They can just check you out. Cullen Moss, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Check me out.
Absolutely. Well, this has been Popternative.
Like my things and stuff.
YouTube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Till next time, it's Cullen Moss and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.